it's not like we are in a competition, but I feel like the consciousness of we can't remain who we are last year. Like there has to be a difference. Like the subtle, we don't sit down to we don't even need to sit down to talk about these things before we actually make those decisions. Like it's like a subtle, cannot be the same Dami and Wale that entered, that did last year, and you carry it into like 2025 cannot be the same. Like there's just that consciousness of you have to continue doing better. I promise you, babe, if someone told me that this year we want to use channel, I'll say it's a lie, because I know your person. This is not really what you like to do, but see you are awake past 12 in the midnight, you are doing content. Hi,
hello,
welcome back to our channel.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Want to appreciate you for the love, for the support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching our videos. If you have not watched our last video, you are wrong.
What are you waiting for?
You are very wrong.
Watch it.
Please do well. Put a link where you can watch it here or in the description box. You should watch it. What did you talk about, babe?
What did we talk about again?
We spoke about culture, tradition, and faith in marriage. So we just spoke about how, how believers, what should influence the marriage of a believer more? Is it culture, tradition, or our faith? So yes, if you have not watched it, run.
We had a guest all the way from UK.
He's all the way from UK.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So run and go and watch that video right now. So today we have another amazing video for you.
You're gonna eat.
You should watch it till the end, because there's so much to take from this. So babe, can you just warn us of telling us what today's topic is all about?
And so our topic for today is marriage and personal growth. So how individually as a person we're coming together and we are growing together in marriage.
Yeah. So, and this is something I know that we've seen a lot of videos about intimacy, building trust, and the rest of that. But I feel like so many people don't talk about the importance of personal growth in marriage. Like how when you get married, your personal development shouldn't stop. And I want to say especially as a woman, because we have that tendency to get carried away by being a mom, being a wife. Yes, like there are so many experiences that can allow you lose yourself.
You put your life on hold.
Yes, you get. And if you don't have an intentional partner, as your husband, or even some men who get so drowned in providing for the family that they forget to keep pushing more.
How much is dollar rate now? What will you blame them?
Pushing more to, acquire more knowledge, probably advance, take courses to, improve their career.
And their earning power.
Yes. So you can get carried away by family life, that you forget the importance of actually developing yourself, acquiring new skill. It might not even be in your current career, life hasn't been made easy. You can take courses on Google and even watch YouTube videos and acquire new knowledge. So things as easy as that, but we get so drowned in family life that we forget to actually encourage ourselves to pursue personal growth. So we just want to talk about that today, and we hope that it is going to encourage somebody. The year is still very fresh, so it is. Is it not fresh?
First quarter.
It's still fresh. This is just the third month, so you can actually still go for it if you have plans and you're like, I am motherhood, being a mom, being a father, there are more. You about say bukata. I don't have the money. Look for a free course and take. So let's just jump right into the video.
So I think the first question that I would ask you is, yes, why is personal growth important in marriage?
Okay, so I think I would take the question from the female perspective right now. Babe, how do you feel when I go for, like, even regardless of how life has been or regardless of how life is, like, the transitioning process that comes with, okay, from being a wife, now a mom, and trying to shuffle between being the wife, a good wife, being a good mom, being a career, I don't know, this is a career woman, being a content creator. I have my YouTube channel. I have my businesses, like different. I have like 3 different businesses that I run, and doing ministry. So how do you feel when, regardless of how tough this thing is, and you see me still pushing for more?
I think that, so you're asking me questions.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm
answer
going
your
to see
question.
answer the question.
Yes, fine. So I think that it's, well, sometimes I feel quite amazed that you are doing a lot of things. Not because, aside from the fact that you're trying to, let's increase what comes in,
Yeah.
so that we can do better things and the rest of it. I think that is important, right? And I feel elated when you do that, because you were not the first person that I met. You have changed, right? Because those things that you are doing actually helps you to evolve, right? So the way you have tackled, I mean, if box making is stressing you, it changes how you think about getting a solution. It changes the pattern of your reasoning, right? So I think challenging yourself to get better, increase your personal growth has helped you see perspective differently. So you are able to, I mean, aside that, the fact that, of course, it's for money making, right? You have evolved in how you think
Yeah.
and how you handle situations. Because if there's a challenge in any of the things that you are doing, you are able to tackle them, come up with new ideas and solutions, and that helps you thinking in our marriage. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So for me, I would say that it just gives me this level of confidence.
Yeah.
Like, I know that many times, even when I say I want to, I remember when I told you I wanted to learn box making. When I was started last year, even November last year, early November, I didn't have box making in my plan. But when I told you, like, the encouragement and all, I'm just always glad.
I don't get choice now.
I'm just always glad when I come to meet you and tell you that, babe, I want this is what I want to do, or tell you my plans, like how you encourage me, knowing fully well that it will kind of affect us. So what I'm just trying to say is, it actually takes a supportive partner to be able to push you, encourage you, because I know throughout December and most times in January, I'll get home around past 8 to 9. Sometimes you would have made dinner.
I mean,
Sometimes you change for me over the phone saying it's already late in the night because I am with Joshua. But even with that, the encouragement were still there. Times when I'm very tired and all that. I feel like when I think of how supportive you are, when every time I bring something new to the table that I want to do, it just, so the next time I think about doing something, it encourages me to like want to keep growing. It encourages me. It doesn't, like, even when being a mom, being a wife, and handling other things becomes tough for me, knowing fully well that I have like your support 100%, like, just encourages me, like, okay, even when it is tough. See, that time when I told you this week that you saw how hard I worked on Saturday to make those covers, like, I worked all through the day and we had to tear down the covers because they didn't fit the boxes. I was very pained. I was very, very pained. But when I called you over the phone, I told you that, babe, I'll be late. We have to make new covers. Like, the way you handled it, like when you told me you had made dinner, do you know how that made me happy? Like, I told Tofumi that, okay, I think this is the energy, this is the strength I needed to actually, because I was really pained with the fact that I knew how much work I put last week Saturday into making those boxes alone, and we had to like destroy them. So you telling me that you had made dinner, it felt like, bring 10 more boxes. Let's make it from scratch.
Let's go.
So yeah, I feel like, number one, person you marry, it's not like we are in a competition, but I feel like the consciousness of we can't remain who we are last year. Like, there has to be a difference. Like, the subtle. We don't sit down to we don't even need to sit down to talk about these things before we actually make those decisions. Like it's like a subtle, cannot be the same Dami and Wale that entered, that did last year, and you carry it into like 2025, cannot be the same. Like there's just that consciousness of you have to continue doing better. I promise you, babe, if someone told me that this year we want a YouTube channel, I'll say it's a lie, because I know your person. This is not really what you like to do, but see you are awake past 12 in the midnight. You are doing content.
Castor. I think I'm doing a great job, right? Clap for me.
Yes, yeah.
So we're good.
Yes.
So I think that you kind of delved into the next question, because how do we support each other in this quest for growth? So I think one of the things that you said that was profound is that one of the things that helped us to actually want to support ourselves is because as a family, we had clearly cut out the plan for the new year.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we don't want to remain the same persons that we were the previous year. So if we have a new plan, there has to be a readjustment, right? Because you have to expand capacity to be able to receive that which you are desirous of. And so that would form the things that you want to do. So for example, myself, I intended to increase my HR, knowledge, right? Because I'd seen that my line of work, it has been quite prevalent. So I'm tilting towards that side more. So what would I do aside taking courses and going to register to governing bodies so that I'm able to get certification and the rest of it? I realized that cannot work at the moment. So I went straight to YouTube. I did a search on Google and ChatGPT, and I found that there's a YouTube channel on YouTube, that you can learn HR knowledge for free. Like you just watch the videos and you are knowledgeable of the things that are doing. So what did I do? I subscribed to the channel and I started watching videos that I'm taking those lessons and putting it into the HR thingy, and it's paying off, right? So first off, we start first with what do you want to achieve as couples, as a couple, and as individuals. That would shape how that you guys would make a decision in wanting to expand your mental capacity and every other thing. Trust me, this growth thing is affecting a bit of family time, right? Because before she started box making and the other things that she's doing now, I come back from work, she's there, and I'm like, oh, how did your day go? Am I going blah, blah, blah. This day he's coming back home around past 8 and she's tired. But then we still, over dinner, I'm saying, okay, so how did your day go? And we're chatting and we're doing father and mother thingy to JJ and the rest of it. But then we're doing it fine. So there's a place of, we always say this, it takes two to make marriage work. You both have to have that resolution that this thing called marriage that we have entered into together, that God has brought us together for, we are going to make it work, right? I support your dream, you support mine, and we hold ourselves and we grow along. Like Gio said something, I think it was in the open heaven, so I said it physically in one of the sermons, and I think it's so profound. You cannot be, as a man, you cannot be in, say, level 8, right? And your wife is in level 2. And you cannot consciously try that she grows up to your level, even if it's level 7. Because if you fall, God forbid, you fall to the level of your wife. So imagine you're in level 8 because you feel like, now leave me the run and be star boy, but whiskey. You now leave your wife at level 2. And something happens to her and you fall. The level that your wife is what you will fall down to, right? That's what he said. Because so that means you have to drag her along. So if at all anything happens, she's able to support you. FFA, Femi, Funke Adejumo said that her husband, people probably don't know who that man is. But said that her husband would go through her sermon notes and check. And that she's able to see who she is now. See her husband, but the background, and she's doing pretty fine. So once you agree, it takes two to make this work. And God's word is our final authority as a family. Then you begin to take steps together that enables you more. Together, everybody achieves more. That's what the acronym TEAM means. TEAM. together, everybody achieves more. All right. So you want to say something to that?
Okay, so concerning what you said, I also want to mention that it doesn't even have to be that you have full knowledge of what your partner is trying to do. I feel like there is something that comes with your partner, like being interested in being involved in your personal growth, like regardless of what you are doing, either you are is career wise or in ministry or whatever, like they might not have like a full knowledge of what you are doing, but even just by showing interest, there's this encouragement that even when you get to that point where you eat like the bottom line, you know that sometimes when you have down times in process of personal growth, like your partner is there to pick you up. They might not even be so involved in what you are doing, but because they are there supporting you and cheering you on, like, you know how sometimes I want to post something on YouTube and I'm like, babe, let me watch it. And you're like, oh, correct this, correct that. As something as little as that, that's you being involved in what, because every day I can say when I started YouTube, I was not like this. Like
I've helped your life.
I watched my first video. You know when you're ashamed, you're like, what did I think I was doing?
I mean, it's good.
Like sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, oh, I've really, really grown in this YouTube thing or content creation thing. Like I know now there's so much confidence. Like so before,
there's still so much to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're not there yet.
Yes. So every time I show you, or sometimes I want to post something on Instagram and I send it to you that, babe, let me go through this. Like something as subtle as, it might look like it's not so relevant. I know I look like it's not so relevant. That's you being involved in my personal growth, because this is something that is part of me and you are playing your own part in it. Imagine if every time I come and meet you and I'm saying, I know that coming to meet you every time, like sometimes you be at work and I'm like, please, I'm begging you, it's urgent, let me go through it. But you will still like take out time to like go through it. Like that's so, imagine I'm coming every time and I'm like, oh babe, see, anything you post is fine. And I post it and there's like a mistake there. Or every time I come, you say, well, and I remember when we just got married, every time I want to write that my caption, like when I tell people that I posted a new video, I'll not tell my husband. And the funny thing is, I brought that in from my previous relationship. Like it would always help me write those captions. And every time I meet my elder sister to be able to say, "Damn, see, think you have brain. You used to feel like you cannot write. You can write." She would tell me to write, send it to her. Then she would reward me. I was already used to somebody helping me type, like come up with everything. Then when you now told me to go back, you say, babe, just write something and send to me. And most times when I say it's good, it's perfect, good to fly. So just something like that now. So you see that now I don't usually come and meet you, because it's sometimes when I'm not so sure, is this good, is this not good, I'll come and meet you. So even something as that looks like is not so relevant as that, my sister won't tell me that, every time I post those kind of things, she'll say, damn it, I get you so good at this writing thing. And I'm like, you and Wale, I thank you and Wale for it, because before I was so spoiled in that area, because I'm like, oh, there's somebody that would help me write it. So yeah, sometimes, so it doesn't, I'm just trying to say that you don't have to be reading their book, whatever they are doing, like be reading everything, like have full knowledge about it. Just showing that, oh, babe, if you are feeling down, I'm here, don't worry. If you need encouragement, even if it's somebody that can rant to when things are not going so well, that's fine. Just showing interest and letting them know that I'm proud of you, well done, keep it up. That's like you also being involved in their personal growth. So you don't necessarily have to have full knowledge of what they are doing, but just letting them know that, oh, I'm proud of you and I am here for you, whatever you need, is also a part of also plays a role in helping your partner grow personally.
All right, so let's just round this up. So let's talk about maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 tips tips for growing together as a couple. Number 1, I think that you should set personal goals together.
Yes.
Right? It could be I mean we didn't do this, but you can try something like, so let's eat the gym together. There's those are personal.
Telling the gym.
If you had to do that on
Are we?
on Obasanjo's internet.
Are we?
Right, so set personal goals together, right? It helps you guys, you encourage each other when you are, I mean, Bible says two is better than one. I mean, it's not shading the singles, but you get, it's easier to ask you about, oh, what's up with this goal? So since you're doing it together, we can track, it can be a spiritual goal as well. So you're reading the Bible for a year, this year, subscribe to YouVersion's Bible plans. Oh, I mean, I read my Bible today, have you read yours? When are we doing it together? That can work. Another thing I would say is be open to growth, right? Know that, like we said earlier, growth helps you evolve. That's what growth means. It changes your thinking patterns and how you handle situations. So be open to wanting to grow. You don't want to remain the same, right? The path of the righteous is like a shining light. So, and that includes growth too. Study to show yourself approved. I mean, as far as when I get the opportunity, I mean, in church to take sermons, by the time I'm done, I'm asking my wife first, how did I do?
Yeah.
Right? He comes and said, oh, you did today, you killed it. I think you shouldn't have said this. I remember one time that, I think it was recently, it was this year, that I preached a sermon at church, and I forgot I didn't remember a point I wanted to share until after I came down from the altar, right? So I'm like, this point, but I said this point now, you go don't eat. I'll have OD. I was like, that's why God didn't allow you to share, because you would have felt proud of yourself, right? And I'm like, okay, that's self-glory, kind of. And that helped me know that, okay, so some of the times you don't want to take the glory. Of course, I know that before, but then it helped, all this subtle pride that we put into things that we do. Yeah, so what would you say?
Okay, so I would say that when it comes to personal development, I feel like the reason why many people fail at it is because they feel like I always say it's the gym. They feel like it is in the gym. Like, let me use English. It is in how intense or how big, yes, okay. The goal is. That's what shows how productive you guys are, or how it shows like, oh, when it is choking your neck, that's when it's
the country,
a big goal. And that's why sometimes when people will start what they cannot finish. So as like when you want to start, you can start from setting like as little as probably reading a book.
Yeah.
Even if, let me say, you are struggling with
even savings, save 5K.
Yes, save 5K
every week.
I know that you want to save big money, but you can start with 5K every month. That way.
Talk about how God used us to help your financial life.
Oh, wow.
Tell him. I mean, in 3 minutes, just share.
Okay, so
I've helped that. Marriage has helped them in the life.
You go.
Get.
You go.
One of these videos will talk about me. Let's talk about you today.
Okay, so. Oh, okay. Okay, so before we got married, while we're still cutting, based on how life has been for me, like losing my dad.
Life gone. Oh, sorry.
Losing my daddy like quite early. I lost my dad when I was 13 years old. So
sorry.
But we thank God that God has been a good father. And I'm grateful to God for blessing me with a good husband.
Thank you, Jesus.
That has been my daddy. Sugar daddy,
but I don't have beard,
a lovely husband and everything. Thank you, God.
Samuel, everything.
My body glory me.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so because of that, I learned catering, and every time, in fact, that I have other siblings. You know how life can be now. I have 3 younger siblings and 1 elder sister. So majority of time, like when I bake cake or make anything, it is very hard to save, because I'm like, even what I'm making from this is not even enough to fend for myself, and probably my sisters need something to fend for them. So I'll just find myself spending everything that I make. So when I met my husband, which was not really my fault, it was just the situation like surrounding the fact that at a young age I had to like start fending for myself, and even up to when I almost got married, it was still like that. Then my husband would tell me that they just go like, wait, do you pay yourself? I'm like, where's the money to pay myself? That, you know how this thing is. And I was like, I understand, but you must pay yourself. If it is 5 naira that is your profit, you must pay yourself from that 5 naira. Like, you must pay. Like, you know, when you are like, I cannot break this in. So he now told me that I know that if you are saving with yourself, it might be hard. You might save and break it. He just said, now you have to start saving with me. For now, I still save up to now. I still save with my husband. But I feel like I've gotten to that point now that
it's
because
conscious.
now I now save with myself. I can still save with my husband. But now I now save with I feel like I've built that self-control that regardless of what is going on, my savings is very, very important.
Yeah.
So it came from him. He would not tell me that, don't worry, I would rather send money to you than allow you touch your profit, like allow you touch your savings. So that was what we now started doing. And I'm like, babe, please, like, I'll not say, say, send the money, I'll send you money. Like, but you must make sure that you send something from this thing that you just sold. Yeah. So that it now built an habit. Like, and I said, you know, when you know, you have money, yeah. So it brought me to that place of knowing the importance of saving. Like, life can be very tough. Like, you cannot continue living life with okay, because of there's no money and not, then you are not saving. So he taught me, and that one thing I'm very, 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 very grateful to God for my husband. Like, something that he did, and I'm feeling proud right now. But feel free, chop your flowers, collect the flower. But I'm actually very grateful for that, to be honest. So now he helped me build like cultivate the habit of
cultivate the habit
of saving. And right? I'm actually very, very happy about that. So that's one, that for me, that's personal growth. Like, and I am happy that now it has become an habit. Now
we're going to the level of, you have to write it down, you know.
Yes, I am still struggling with that. But babe, I've actually, this year I've been intentional.
I know.
I'm very, very intentional. So yeah.
All right. So tell us we hope that you have been blessed by that brief topic. Yeah. But then please tell us your personal growth journey in the comment section.
Let's ask them, babe. Like, I know that we entered 2025 with goals. How has it been for you?
At the first quarter.
Like, I'm sure some people have never even eaten anything.
Are you shading us?
I will shade the people.
The Lord has been good to us. That's our testimony.
So please, if you know you have not done anything, you have not eat, because we're very fond of writing goals.
Don't pressure yourself. Oh.
Pressure yourself. Sometimes, baby, you need to pressure yourself. Now, why some people know they eat?
It's a balance to being pressured, though.
Pressure yourself.
Okay. Are you for team pressure yourself or team? You know, do it gradually. Let's do in the comment section too. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe first, then you like, or which one? Any other shasha.
Just make sure that you like,
post,
comment,
Pastor Manarian will say it helps your algorithm. So thank you so much.
Share to somebody.
Share it. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Share to somebody that your talking stage, so they can know they're very serious.
Bella ciao.
What's Bella ciao?
I don't know what to do. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.